Hello, friends. It's your friend Lee McCormack. I still like bikes, but I will not be riding bikes for a while. Oh no. I am currently on my back on the couch, which is where I live now, because there's an incision on my sit bone. Because about 5 weeks ago, I was making a turn such that my hamstring tore off the ischial tuberosity, tore off the sit bone. Oh, I mean, I'll never forget that moment. I was setting an edge. I felt something go bleh, and my leg went dumb, and I crashed so hard. Oh my God. 5 weeks later, I still have scabs from that crash. It was a bad one. And I remember the pain. And I'm laying there, and I was like looking at my right leg, which had always been the best part of me. I've always had legs, even without, when I had no shoulders, I had legs, right? And hips and butt and core. Like that was been me. And so I'm looking at like what's always been the best part of my body, my right leg, and it's completely broken and useless in a way I don't understand yet. And I remember laying there going, so I didn't make a mistake. I mean, like I've done tons of stupid shit. A lot of you have. I've hit jumps I shouldn't hit. I've overtrained. I've done all kinds of things I shouldn't do, right? Acutely and chronically. But this time I was out and I was just really kind of working through a process. And, you know, there's no way to predict this. And it's just like the structure of my body just simply failed. It just failed. That's all there was to it. And yay me, I can corner so hard that I can tear my body in half. Good for me. But it's like, you know, I am 55 and it's time to admit two facts. One, I have a hereditary condition called hypermobile EDS. And it comes with some superpowers, like my energy, my creativity, my sensitivity, my ability to watch a ride or know exactly what you're feeling. It comes with a lot of awesome stuff that I've used pretty well in my work and in my life, but it makes your soft tissue fundamentally fragile. So I get blisters easily. I'm getting like really all kinds of rashes from my crutches. You know, my shoulders wore out in a weird way. And now the tendons around most of my major movers, especially my right hip, are like worn out. So it's like, gotta admit, it's like you are fundamentally like gifted and flawed, like everybody, and you've been charging like a damn fucking maniac for decades, and this is where we are, right? And so that all kind of hits you when you're laying on the ground, like, right. Like I'm getting older and I can feel my mountain bike journey. Like it's been doing this for a while, 5 years or so, but I feel it now. I've reached the top of the roller coaster and it's just going to start to do this. And this doesn't mean that I'm not going to have fun and become a miserable person. What it means is I'm shifting my focus from how can I create the most possible force between my body and earth enough to tear a hamstring. And we shift from that focus to like, what's my experience within me? How do I feel energetically and physically and socially? So like I feel that, right? And really like anyone who's farther along the path than me will say, yeah, dude, you're getting older and you're growing up. Like this is how it's supposed to happen. And so it's like a phase. I feel a phase shift happening. Right? And I welcome it. I've been feeling this, like I said, for about 5 years now. And of course, then I'm texting my buddies so I can not lose my mind. And we're just talking shit about El Caminos and they're cool cars, right? Chevy El Camino. And it reminded me of the car I used to drive when I was a kid. So my mom, brand new at the Chevy dealer, McPherson Chevrolet, Irvine, California, I remember it. She had a 1978 Chevy Nova. It was burgundy with a matching interior. It had a small block 305 cubic inch V8, 2-barrel carburetor. It was fast, really powerful, dead reliable, family muscle car sedan. The roads were full of these things, you know? And all three of us would be in the back seat with no seatbelt. Mom would be driving around listening to John Denver and Barry Manilow. By the way, my middle name is Barry. And I was like, I'm not named after him, am I? She's like, no, of course you're not. But she had every album. Anyway, so, you know, that's the car I grew up in. And when I came of age, I adopted it. Okay. So now here I am, a 17-year-old kid, right? Just trying to be cool, trying to be tough, right? Because I was raised to like feel like I wasn't cool or tough. And if you don't feel something, you're going to pursue it, aren't you? I never felt like an athlete. So what did I do with my life? Here you go. Standard stuff. Just being a person. Okay. So I adopt the car. Okay. It gets painted bright blue, like bass boat blue with metal flakes. It gets some sweet rims. It gets some badass white wall tires. I mucked with the suspension a little bit, and like it was a little higher than stock because I used to like to Dukes of Hazzard it off road. Oh yeah, and I also took out that perfectly serviceable 305 V8 and I slapped it in a 350. And I put the Edelbrock intake manifold on, Holley 4-barrel carburetor, one of those cool like air intakes with the chrome on top, you know. And let me tell you, you can pull it all apart in about 5 hours. But as a 17-year-old boy and a graduate of Auto Shop 101, it took about 5 weeks to get that car running. And by the time it was running, I'm sorry, friends, I'm sorry. I'm part of the problem. The 17-year-old Lee did not care about emissions. So it had no emissions equipment, and I wasn't bothering with AC anymore. So that engine bay was just business, right? The car was fast, man. And I used to love to drive it. And when you'd open up the fourth barrels, it's tied to the throttle. It's all mechanical. It's cool. It's like you pull a cable, and if you pull the cable this far, it opens up 2 barrels. And if you push the lever and pull the cable more, it opens up the other 2. And the thing would go, it was like TJ Hooker, it would go, oh, while it peeled the skin off your face. It was great. I loved to do it. It was wonderful. Okay. And then also, because I was a badass punker, yeah, I had a boombox in the back seat playing Dead Kennedys or, Subhumans all the time. However, the license plate still said for Mrs. Mac, which I think is very funny. Okay. So, all right. So I used to drive that thing like a maniac. And so one night I worked till like 11 p.m. at the gas station. I was on my way home and we're cruising through, I'm cruising through these rolling hills, Southern Orange County. And I'm getting after it, right? I'm having fun with that car playing, some rad song, And bloop, cop. Fuck. So I pull over, right? And he gets out of the car and he goes, son, you know how fast you're going? And I was like, well, I mean, the speedometer goes to 85, so I guess 85. I was trying to really play it down, right? But the fact is, right, remember back then, the gear shift indicator was a little thing that did this, and the speedometer had gone around past 85 and was pinging off the D. And it would go dong, dong. And he goes, and so I said, oh, 85? And he says, try 125. And I couldn't help but be like, oh, ooh, yeah, but I put it back down, So I'm just trying to be a sheepish, apologetic little boy, right? And I go, well, that's so crazy, sir. I mean, this is my mom's car. Like, I grew up in the back seat. I can't imagine this thing going faster than 85 miles an hour. And he goes, pop the hood, kid. Oops, here we go. So remember, this is a 1978 Chevy Nova, man. Everything was wires and levers and springs. It was cool. It's something you could look at, feel, and fix. And that's something that really appealed to me, right? That's why I became a mechanic for a little while. And so I pull that lever, gunk, and the hook goes donk, and then the lever, the hood goes boom. And I walk around real slow. And this hood weighs like 8,000 pounds. It's freaking steel, dude. I get in there, I get underneath it like a military press. And there it is, man. Hot, ticking, gleaming 350 cubic inches of American steel, ready to rampage the roads, And there it is. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm in trouble, man. I'm in trouble. The cop goes, got the Edelbrock so-and-so intake manifold. Yes, sir. Oh, is that the Holley 4-barrel? Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. Be careful out there, kid. And he let me go. And you know what? That was good policing because he made the point. He made the point, and I stopped being such an ass in the car, and I became an ass on a mountain bike and a motorcycle. But luckily, I didn't hurt anybody with my car, and I just decided to hurt myself on the other things. So that's societally probably good. And as I sit here, right, it's like, like I feel my mountain biking, world, a big part of my life, right? Major coping mechanism that I developed, kind of inflecting into the new phase of like not pursuing infinite shred for some religious reason, right? But to enjoy mountain biking, to share and teach mountain biking as a healthy part of a balanced existence, right? Sounds very reasonable, really, very adult. And so it's cool. I can feel this phase, and I can kind of have some fun with remembering other phases I've had. I was a hardcore fisherman. That's all I cared about for a long time. And I took it to the point where I killed a fish that was about twice as old as I was, a giant grouper. And I was like, Lee, that's enough. I laid off. I haven't really fished since much. And then, of course, it reminds me of this period as a young man where my religion was twofold: engine displacement and bench press max. And I was working as hard as I could to make those the same numbers. And that was everything, man. And that was everything. And I believe this. It's like, today, does it seem silly? I don't know. I can't judge it. But at the time, it's important. At the time, it's everything. And you know what? It's supposed to be everything. Whatever's getting you going, learning how to jump a bike, learning how to bunny hop, learning how to build your business, whatever it is, it should be your everything. It should be your everything. You should give it every single bit of focus and just drive and kung fu you can. See it through. See it through. And when you start to reach this point, have the wisdom to move on. So now I can say, oh yeah, there was a time fishing was everything, and bench pressing and car displacement was everything, and motocrossing was everything, and I'll be able to say very quickly here, and mountain biking was everything. And those are all kind of like receding, and mountain biking is now a healthy part of my life. Do I appreciate a good car? Yes. Do I like to fish once in a while? Of course I do. Of course I do. But it all gets integrated into the story and into who I become, and I think that's just how it's supposed to work. And who knows what the next phase is? Like maybe I become some famous writer of haiku, and I become famous because Oprah reads the great haiku, shreddeth unto me. I don't know. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen, right? Right now, my job is to heal my hip, my hamstring, and become a master of crutch technique. So I bought the sickest crutches on the market, and this is like my obsession right now. And I really look forward to the day I can let that go. So I don't know, man. Like whatever's got your gumption right now, whatever your everything is, give it everything you have. Open up those 4 barrels on that carburetor, and get after it. Yeah, I'm a stoked, friends.